Okay, Namaskar students. In this class, we are going to discuss a very important topic. This is the topic called the natural distribution of natural vegetation in India, right? So we are going to discuss how the different kind of forests which we can found in India distributed on the basis of the rainfall which we can see during the monsoon season. So we have discussed monsoon season, the onset of monsoon in the previous classes, and on the basis of monsoon we can find how the different vegetation we can find in different parts of India. So we have discussed in earlier classes like the Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch bring lots of moisture to the Indian subcontinent and bring rainfall. Here we can see the Western Ghat mountains. These Arabian Sea branch collide with the Western Ghat mountains and bring more than 200 centimeter of rainfall on the western slope of Western Ghat mountains. So on the western slope, if we have more than 200 centimeter of rainfall, that means what kind of vegetation we can find in the western slope of Western Ghat? Yes, tropical evergreen, right, Disha. So this is tropical evergreen forest on the western slope of Western Ghat. Then we have the Arabian Sea branch moving in the northern direction, colliding with the Gir-Girnar forest, Gir-Girnar mountain hills. We have 200 centimeter of rainfall, just southern slope, and north of it we have rain shadow. So because of the rain shadow, we have semi-arid region in the Kathiawar region. So you can see the semi-arid region have what kind of vegetation? Tropical dry deciduous forest. If we talk about Bay of Bengal branch, huge amount of moisture, these winds taking from the Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, and bringing up to the Purvanchal Himalayas. So first of all, these winds will collide with the Garo, Khasi and Jayantia hills. Then these winds trapped into these Purvanchal hills. We have Mishmi, Abor, Dafla, Patkaibam, then Manipur, Mizo hills. These hills will trap these monsoon winds. Huge amount of moisture will be trapped by these mountain hills. And then huge amount of rainfall we can see in the northeastern India. It is about more than 200 centimeter of rainfall. And this is the reason why we have which kind of vegetation? Tropical evergreen forest we can find in the northeastern India. So here you can see the tropical evergreen forest which requires more than 200 centimeter of rainfall, right? Then these monsoon winds colliding with the Himalayas, after collision they will move toward the western direction. So as the monsoon winds moving from east to west, the moisture content in these winds will get decreased. So here we have more than 200, then less than 200, around 150 centimeter, then less than 100 centimeter of rainfall in different areas. Similar, on the basis of the rainfall, we can find the distribution of natural vegetation in India. We have tropical evergreen forest in the northeastern India. Then we have tropical moist deciduous forest in the West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, right? Then these monsoon winds almost lost its moisture and they get dry because most of the rainfall occur in these regions. So the moisture contained in these monsoon winds get decreased. Here we can see the dry deciduous forest. Why? Because we have very less rainfall, around 50 to 70 centimeter of rainfall we can see in the east of Aravali's. Then when the monsoon winds collide with the Aravalli mountains, what will happen just west of it? Rain shadow, right? So here we have the rain shadow just behind the Aravallis. These Aravallis will block the Bay of Bengal winds and create a rain shadow region in the west of Aravallis. And this is the reason why we have tropical thorn forest. Also we can find the Thar desert west of Aravallis. So here we have the trees like cactus. You know cactus. We have trees like khejdi. These are the examples of tropical thorn forest. These kind of trees have very small leaves so that they can capture more and more moisture and try to not to escape the situation where trees lost their water due to evapotranspiration. So these trees have very small leaves, and this is why they can store huge amount of water in their stem. If we talk about tropical evergreen forest, these trees have very large leaves. So the size of leaves will also decrease as the amount of rainfall decrease in any region. Here we have the special kind of forest called as mangrove. So these are the regions where we can find largest mangrove forest on the planet. So this is the region what we can, what this region is called as Sundarban, right? So this region is called as Sundarban, where we can find the largest mangrove forest. Some of the mangrove forests we can find in the region of Odisha. The Bhitarkanika National Park, we can find the mangrove forest. So these are the regions where we can find the mangrove forests. A little patch of mangrove forest also we can find in the Gujarat. Then we have the mountain forest. These are the forests we can find in the mountainous regions, high altitude region. So we have the state of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh. These are the regions with high altitude where we can find the main mountain forest. So here we have the diagram of mountain forest. On the basis of altitude, different kind of forest we can see. The tropical moist deciduous forest will be found in the foothills of Himalayas. Okay. When the altitude increase, we can find the evergreen coniferous forest. These trees have inverted cone-shaped trees, so that they can dodge the snowfall coming from the height. So very less snow will be we can find in these trees. By the altitude, different kind of species of trees we can find, like pine, oak trees, chestnut, up to the height of 2,000 meters. Then up to height of 3,000 meters we can find the deodar trees. At the top we can find the permanent ice caps in Himalayas, where we can find stunted trees, means very less height. Also some kind of vegetations called as moss. Moss are the small vegetation of green color. They cover the surface with green color. Lichens are the fungus we can find in these regions. So these are the distribution of mountain forest, in which we have the special forest called as evergreen coniferous plants. These plants have inverted cone shape. So this is how, on the basis of rainfall, we have different kind of vegetation. These are the vegetation are called evergreen, moist deciduous, dry deciduous, and tropical thorn. These are the vegetation distributed on the basis of rainfall. Where we have less rainfall, we can find tropical thorn forest. Maximum rainfall of region have tropical evergreen forest. Evergreen means, yes, these trees do not shed their leaves for throughout the year, while deciduous forest shed their leaves in a particular season, so that they can conserve the water. Moist deciduous have short time period for shedding their leaves, while dry deciduous forests have longer time to shed their leaves. That means these trees will live for longer time without leaves. So this is how we can conclude that Indian climate is controlled by its topography. So we have topographic controlled climate. While the vegetation of India have climate control. That means these vegetations are distributed across India on the basis of climate, on the basis of rainfall, right? And we have the climate on the basis of topography. So we have discussed how the monsoon winds bring rainfall to Indian subcontinent, and on the basis of the monsoon winds, we can find different kind of vegetation. Okay.